I'm Ellen Gormley and welcome back to my channel. In case you missed it, go and check your comments that you left when you entered the 9,000 subscriber giveaway to see if you were the winner. It's actually Linda from Arkansas, but go check your content or your comments for my reply to see if it was you, Linda. I thank you everyone for subscribing to the channel so that we could have 9,000 in our community and we could do a giveaway. We're going to do another big giveaway at 10,000 subscribers, so please like and subscribe this video. But now we're going to learn a Tunisian swatch. So like and subscribe so that we can get to the 10,000 mark so we can do the next giveaway. It's going to be even bigger than the 6 book or door number 2 crochet conversation giveaway. Now I want to do this one a little bit different. I talked about this one in a previous video. It was entitled something like, "What was I thinking?" or "What am I thinking?" And we decided that this Tunisian diagonal lace stitch looked better in solid than it did in multicolor. So we're going to learn this stitch today, and then in another video I'll teach you how to increase the stitch pattern. So if you remember, or if you don't remember, this stitch pattern comes from Darla Fanton's book 50 Tunisian Stitches, published by Annie's. And let me see if I can find the exact page for you guys. I'm not going to write out diagonal eyelet stitch on page 19, okay? So I'm not going to write out her pattern because it belongs to her and not me, but I am going to teach it. And one way I'm going to teach it is by starting in the middle, and then we're going to go back and start from the very beginning, okay? So anyway, I want to explain this pattern a little bit before we even begin. So it's really not hard, but because it's offset, like every row is different because you're moving the eyelet stitches over one every repeat so that you get that diagonal bias. So I learned while making this stitch some little tricks that I wanted to talk about before we even start. Here comes Theo. Okay, Theo, don't take my yarn. So the tricks that I learned are that, okay, it's a multiple of 7 plus 5, first of all. Now, you're going to do Tunisian simple stitches for 3. That's what makes the solidy part. And then there's 2 eyelets. The 2 eyelets are actually yarn over and 2 together. So let's work on this row a little bit and I will hopefully be able to explain better what I mean. Oh, and here comes Muffin. Muffin might be joining us today. You guys haven't seen Muffin. Are you coming, Muff? Maybe not. Okay. So with this pattern, as most Tunisian patterns, you don't work that first vertical bar because it's already on your hook. So when I am looking at this, if I don't want to read a big block of text, I have figured out that the Tunisian simple stitches, there's always going to be 3 of them together, 1, 2, 3 in a row. They have to end on the diagonal from the previous row. So this will be the 3rd one, there's the 2nd one, then the 1st one would be here. But I also need to do one there to help us move over. So I'm going to do Tunisian simple until I can get over to, these are the 3 that start the pattern. And as this beginning part gets bigger and bigger, I'm going to measure or figure out where to start the pattern by where that first yarn over is. So the 3rd one of the group always goes on that yarn over. Now let me show you the fancy increase decrease eyelet stitch. So we're going to yarn over, go under 2 bars as if to Tunisian simple stitch at the same time, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then you're just going to chain 1 through just that first loop. So you're keeping that yarn over right there, okay? And then we begin the pattern of Tunisian simple, Tunisian simple. Remember the 3rd Tunisian simple of the set goes in the yarn over. And then now we're in the heart or the body of the pattern. And Theo is threatening to knock over all my yarn because that's what he does. So we're going to do 2 of those yarn over eyelets in a row. So to make the diagonal, they need to be here and then here, here, and then here, separated by 3 Tunisian simple stitches. So we just did the 3 Tunisian simple stitches. We're going to yarn over, insert under the next 2 bars. In this case, it also includes the yarn over and pull up 1 loop, then yarn over and pull through just 1 loop. So that's a chain. So it keeps that yarn over in place. So we decreased by taking 2 at one time, but we increased by adding the yarn over. So we took 2 and we made 2, so we're still even. All right, Theo. Theo's playing with the papers on the desk. He's telling me, he's probably reminding me to, hey, look for the affiliate links in the description below. Do your usual shopping. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out. So thank you so much. And also he's reminding me to tell you that I believe crochet is a valuable, relaxing, and valuable use of your time. Okay, back to the story here. So we're going to do another one, yarn over. So that increases. We're going to decrease by doing 2 simple stitches at the same time, and then yarn over and pull through 1. So we increased with the yarn over, then we decreased by doing 2 at the same time. So we used 2, but we made 2, so we're all good. It's even. Now we will Tunisian simple stitch 1, 2, 3, and the third one always ends up in a diagonal in the yarn over from the previous row. And then we'll do the yarn over and then decrease here. Yarn over, pull through those Tunisian simple stitches at the same time, and then just chain 1 through that 1 loop, not pulling through that yarn over. And we'll do that twice because when we're in the body of the pattern, we need an eyelet on either side of this diagonal here. Okay, do you see it? Okay, so we have, oh, here comes Muffin. I got to show you Muffin. You guys haven't seen her in a while. Muffin, Muffin. This one here is Muffin. This one here is Theo. Muffin's going to be with us for a while. So anyway, so sorry, I don't usually show you the pets, but you haven't really seen Muffin. So, okay, so we're going to remember Tunisian simple stitch for 1, 2, and the third one always uses the diagonal, okay? And then we're going to do the 2 yarn over once, yarn over, and then do the decrease. And we'll do that yarn over decrease thing twice. And then when we come to the end of the row, we're going to continue the pattern as far as we can all the way across. So that means 3 Tunisian simple stitches. And then I really can't do can I do one? I guess I could. Yarn over, do 2 together. I don't think that's going to work. Let's not do that. So in general, you're going to do the pattern as far over as you can and then just end up with Tunisian simple stitches. You'll always have the same number of stitches on your hooks because we're not really increasing. But the idea is because every row is different, or it has a really big repeat of like 12 rows or whatever, it gets confusing trying to read a big body of text. So by doing my method where you're just looking at the yarn overs and following the pattern, then you don't have to read the pattern. You know what I'm trying to say? So, and then the return pass is yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2 all the way across. And then let me get you started on that. Now every row technically is the same, but it starts off set by 1 so that the diagonal happens. So there's really not a ton of memorization. It's almost easier if you can just read your stitches and not have to read the text. So that's why I wanted to teach you to read your stitches first, and then we're gonna do the start of the next row, and then together I will show you how to start from the extreme beginning. So if you like Tunisian crochet and you think crochet is a relaxing and valuable use of your time, please hit the like button and subscribe. Okay, so for the next row, again, if we just look at our stitches and we think, I don't remember where to start here. Remember that your third Tunisian simple stitch is going to end up on this yarn over right here. So that would be 3, 2, 1. I know those all have to be Tunisian simple stitches. And then there should be a yarn over and decrease right here because there's 2 left over. So let's go ahead and start the next eyelet with yarn over, Tunisian simple stitch 2 together, and then chain 1. Okay, so we have an eyelet that is starting the next new diagonal. Now we're going to Tunisian simple stitch for 1, 2, 3. The third one is always on that yarn over. And then we will do a yarn over, decrease there. Okay, so now we're going to do 1, 2, 3. So if you're not sure where you're going, find the next diagonal and count backwards for your Tunisian simple stitches. Okay, then we're going to decrease twice to get a yarn over eyelet on either side. So that's yarn over, Tunisian simple stitch 2 together, and then chain 1. And then we should do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then the third one is always on that diagonally yarn over there, and then yarn over, and then 2 together. Remember, we're leaving all the loops on the hook because this is Tunisian crochet. Then we're doing it again because the eyelet happens on either side of this diagonal rib. Okay, and Tunisian simple stitch for 1, 2, 3. And the third one always happens on the yarn over, Tunisian simple stitch 2 together, chain 1, yarn over, Tunisian simple stitch 2 together, chain 1, and then we'll try to get as far over to the edge with the pattern as possible. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay, so that's the pattern. And now let me go back and show you from the extreme beginning. So hopefully I got you hooked on this pattern, and you can see that it's really, really not too difficult. If you do have the book, that's awesome. If you need to find the book, I don't know if it's on Amazon still, but I have an Amazon link in my description below. It does not cost you extra money to use my Amazon link, but it does give me an affiliate kickback, and I very much appreciate that. Every little bit helps. Okay, Muffin. Muffin is getting in the game here. I needed to unravel a little bit. Let's see if she, oh, there she goes, jumping off the table. Okay, so this pattern is a multiple of 7 plus 5. So we're going to place a slip knot on our hook. This is a worsted weight yarn. I'm using Brava. This one was Karen Ogo, and that was just one of the colors in the Ogo. So I'm going to place multiples of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 2 multiples plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is as wide as we're going to make it this time. I think that one was closer to 4 repeats, the lavender. So we're going to pull up a loop in the back ridge, back bump, back bar of each stitch across. So if we had 2 multiples of 7 each, that's 14 plus 5 stitches for the extra 5. That makes 19. So when I pull up one loop in the back ridge, back bar, back bump of every chain all the way across, plus the loop that was already on the hook when I began, there should be 19 loops on my hook. So I hope you can understand the math there. So go as wide as you want to go. 7 stitches with worsted weight yarn is about 2.5 inches, maybe 2 inches, 2.25 inches, and then add 5 more. So you can figure out if you wanted to do a baby blanket, for example, divide the math by 2 inches or so, and then that's how many repeats you need. So the number of repeats times 7 plus 5. So let's see if we have 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Voila! I love it when math works out well. Otherwise, it's just not fun. Okay, so the very first row is just the traditional return pass, yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook all the way across. Whoop, actually pulled through 3, so I had to back up. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. My favorite part of Tunisian crochet is the return pass, especially when it's a traditional return pass, just like this, where it's nothing fancy. It's just yarn over and pull through 2. It just feels like you make so much progress so fast until you have 1 loop remaining on the hook. So the first, the first row, well, this is the foundation row. So the first patterned row is row number 2. We're skipping this first vertical bar because it's already on our hook. We're going to do 3 Tunisian simple stitches, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to yarn over, Tunisian simple stitch decrease, and chain 1. Then we're going to do that again, yarn over, Tunisian simple stitch decrease, chain 1. And then we'll go back to the 3, 1, 2, 3 Tunisian simple stitches. Okay, and then yarn over, Tunisian simple stitch decrease by going under the 2 bars at the same time, yarn over, pull up a loop, and just chain 1, leaving that yarn over on the hook for later. Tunisian simple stitch in 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you're just going to Tunisian simple stitch the rest of the way across. Yep. Catching the last 2 of the vertical bars of that last stitch. That way it'll mirror exactly what it looks like on this side. It will look like that on this side. Okay, so, and then we just return pass. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 all the way across. Theo is still on my table, but Muffin is running around, which is fine. She's still a kitten. She's just, is it a little over a year old now? Yeah, year and a half, about a year and a half old. She's Mara's cat, and she's staying with us for a while while Mara is doing her thing, starting her life, studying abroad. Okay, so row 2 then, I'm sorry, we just did row 2. Row 3 is then Tunisian simple stitch for just 1, not the first one because we always skip the first one. And we're going to remember how I taught you in the longer one. We're going to do 3 Tunisian stitches and they're always going to end on that yarn over. So that pattern starts right away here. 1, 2, 3. So this one is just a placeholder until we can get over to that group where we have our 3rd one land on the yarn over. And then we're going to go ahead and do the yarn over, Tunisian simple stitch decrease with a chain 1, yarn over, Tunisian simple stitch decrease, chain 1, and then 3 Tunisian simple stitches, 1, 2, and 3. The last one ends on a diagonal yarn over there, and then the decrease. So the pattern is really very easy, but it's just a matter of really looking carefully and closely at your stitches, making sure that you are not increasing or decreasing. So when we had 19 loops on our hook to begin with, then we're going to always have 19 every time we've completed a row before we return pass, and that will tell us that we are still on track. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. So if you are concerned that you didn't do something or you have too few, you probably forgot to yarn over. And if you have too many, then you may have put in an extra yarn over. So I hope that that demystifies and gets you excited about a more complicated Tunisian eyelet stitch pattern than maybe you've tried before. Really gorgeous. exceptionally beautiful and a solid. It looks like pearl bumps on the back because that's just the way Tunisian looks. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe button. And I hope you have a relaxing and valuable use of your day. And please leave a comment below if you don't mind. And that's all for today. I will see you on the next video. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ellen Gormley. I hope that you spent the last few minutes with a relaxing and valuable use of your crochet time. If you've not seen the last video, click up here if you've got a few more minutes. If you have seen it, here's another one I think you might really like. But everybody, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. See you next time.